Good morning, guys. Welcome to the vlog. We are in lovely Tampa, Florida. The vibes are amazing. The weather's banging. Bish bosh, slam dance, orange juice. Now ready to kickstart the day. Busy day ahead. All clients are ripping. Record months incoming for all of them. Very excited. Very excited. Got a long day of calls ahead with everyone and some exciting stuff planned. So without further ado, let's get into it. First call we have today is with one of our closers on the team. We're just checking in with her, seeing where she is from a goals perspective versus what she, what we set out for her at the start of the month. With all our team members, at the start of the month, the first call of the month, we set out clear targets for them based on their past performance versus, what they want to be earning. We lay out daily, weekly, and monthly targets for them to hit. So what we're going to do on this call is assess where she's at. What needs to be improved, what's going well, what needs to be improved to get her to meet her target. Because what we do want is for everyone on our team, not only our clients to be earning money, but everyone on our teams to be earning the money they want to make. So that's what we want. So yeah.
Hey.
Hello. How are we doing? How was your last call?
It was a direct booking.
Interesting.
I know. I didn't know how that's still coming
Did they show?
Yeah, they did actually. However, he was had no idea what the call was for and wasn't looking for a personal approach.
Okay. So where did you ask him where he booked in from?
Yeah, he said through a link. It was a bit of a language barrier, but he kept saying through the link.
Okay.
But he's not even on the mobility basics.
Okay. That's weird. That might have been through the YouTube, but that's been changed now. I just spoken to Wop. I was on with Wop this morning. We have financing for 12 months. So I managed to extend it for you guys, which is amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah. Just let me know if that works. Any issues, just let me know. We can obviously trial that out and get that fixed.
That would be a big difference for the 6K.
Okay. I think even after reviewing this call with Daniel, I do think you're not hard closing people enough, to be honest. I've just watched the call back with Daniel before we started. Discovery was solid. I'm going to go through this call with you now. We'll go through it together. Discovery's always been a strong point for you, but I think that some of the weakest aspects of it is objection handling. You have some good goals with objection handling, but that's definitely room for improvement massively, which is good why you've bought the program, right? You've invested in your education for that. But I do think you're soft on that end. You're a bit soft, you're a bit too, what? Maybe it's that, your old job carrying over with your empathetic nature, but I do think it's hurting you. For example, we'll go through it together, but on that call, Discovery was solid. You went through a lot of depth. I watched it. I was very impressed. You went into. I think he was someone who had a lot of years of flare-ups, 10 years, I think. He had a lot of symptoms neurologically as well. He had headaches. He had a plantar fasciitis, whatever, in the legs as well. He had a lot of fear, so you responded well to your knowledge, and obviously that helped with credibility. That always has done. But your knowledge will always help massively. And I do think even the online versus in person, I think you kind of handled it pretty well. You explained the assessment in detail. I think you put good clarity on that. That shone through with, your understanding always shines through on the calls, which is 100% something which is a strong point for you individually as a closer, is your understanding will always benefit. And even, I think, matching the coaches up, with who you think would be a good fit, Chris and Michelle, specialists, that was good. I think the value objection, however, on that call, we'll go through it together, but I'll just put some notes down here, is obviously he said something along the lines of, if I read the transcript, he says, I'd like to see how far I can get on my own first before paying this amount. Alright, so it's not financial, it's purely value. He's trying to, quantify this value worth it. So you acknowledge the objection, then you showed him the 6 month and 3 month, and then and you kind of just agreed with him. when he said, you know what, I just want to go try things myself, he just said, yeah, you know what, that's absolutely fine, and then just, you know, went back to the basics. So you basically just gave up.
In terms of, do you have any other questions or doubts or concerns with the program?
No major doubts. I think the only doubt would be whether or not if a personalized or in-person versus virtual program would be more beneficial either way. Because I'm pretty in tune with how my body moves, same like I build muscles and everything like that. So I'm not necessarily need some person to help teach me how to move my body.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said that.
I think it's more just the structure, the check-ins, the progress tracking is what I'm interested in, which is why I think a virtual would make sense.
This is why it's interesting, because he literally said that himself. But then the call ended with an in-person versus online being the objection you put down, which is what I found very, very odd. Like,
I can't remember what it ended on, to be honest. I'd have to
we'll go through it, but it's not that he's said that himself, right? It's come out of his own mouth. A virtual program beneficial, because either way I'm very in tune. Okay, perfect, you've said that.
Is this option something that I can put off until like the 4 week, and the initial 4 weeks is just to help build that habit before dedicating a full 12 months of a program, right?
Yeah, you can. You can do limited visits, of course. You don't have to put it into the one-to-one, but my only advice would be, so majority of the people that do the one-to-one, they either do that and just take the investment of limited visits and put it and take it off the one-to-one. And because with the one-to-one, it's not like the one-to-one isn't like, oh, now it's diving into the real stuff. It's foundation based. So it's not like we're not going to be rushing you into anything extravagant. That's going to do the opposite, the result you want. So in terms of the basics, that is obviously just mobilizing muscles, right? So it's going to get your body moving, but it is not going to target any specific areas of your body. So which you can do, however, it just needs you to start in an approach that will be more beneficial for you about how many weights you go to.
I just basically got the first grade, just very basic, just get my body moving.
Yeah, so it just means that you'll be starting at 4 weeks later than you could.
Right.
That's actually the only difference. So that's completely up to you, but in terms of like the results you want, I would always say obviously taking the approach as you know yourself, it's going to benefit you more. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So going on to the cost then, so have you a question about?
Yeah, I would kind of phrase that a little differently, to shut down the opportunity to do the basics first, because that just judging by that it will come up. In the sense that, okay, sure, you could do the basics, but given what you mentioned with the 10 years of planting, do you think a 4-week program versus something a bit more tailored is going to help you move the needle forward? I would rephrase that into a question for it, because ultimately, like, this is an objection that is basically surfacing, saying, can I put this off 4 weeks before making a decision? Do you understand? So I would reword that. Don't give him an out.
Yeah. With the application with guidance going forward and also the weekly calls with the analysis. So that would come down to an investment of $6,000 US. Now, we do that in credit.
That was a good build up to pitch as well. We'll transition into price drop.
Debit and payment plans. Which one would you be leaning towards?
Most likely payment plan of some sort, yeah.
Yeah, so on a payment plan, so do you have a credit card?
Yes.
So on a credit card, it's interest free. So I'm probably the best option for you. So it would be $6,000 over 6 months. So $1,000 a month annual cost. It doesn't change the amount. If you wanted to break it down further, you can. We have options that you can break it down literally to like 24 months. If you want more flexibility, that would be my one credit or debit card as well. I think after 12 months they start adding on some APR. So those are after 6 months. It depends on your credit score. It would come up specific to each person. But that's the options of the payment plans. So yeah, all that requires basically is once the first installment is taken, that's what allows you to be obviously onboarded and then get your physical analysis booked in and get set up really.
I wouldn't have.
So what's your thoughts on that?
Okay.
I think it's definitely doable, but at a higher rate than I was hoping to expect.
Yeah.
So I think for the 12 month, I definitely have to consider or delay further just to help balance the finances to allocate the break money.
It's fine, and like if you know, in terms of finances, is this more like affordability or is there any uncertainty at all behind making investment?
More affordability or willing to commit to the effort. I think that's the big thing. Which is why I think I would like to spend time to see, you know, can I get 50% or 60% of the way there in, let's say, 3 months time or 6 months time for close to free in comparison cost. And is that something that I find valuable enough to just keep as is, or is that extra 50% that I gain to get like full fluid mobility?
Mate, you've been fucked up for 10 years. What do you mean extra 50%? The basic's not going to give you extra 50%. What are we doing? Is this guy retarded or what?
I know.
Like, genuinely, like, what on earth is this guy even talking about?
The value as far as like the per month cost is something that I have to really try to balance.
Yeah, for sure. Like, we can always look. I can always show you what the other options would be, right?
Fuck the other options. Address that head on. What do you mean to get their 50%? What's he talking about? 50% where? This guy's just trying straight. He's basically saying, I want to see if I can get 50% there myself to justify paying the program's cost. You're not going to get there. It's been 10 years, mate.
Well, I know that, but I can't like say that to him like that.
You can't say it to him like that, but you can address it. Okay, I'm just curious. You know, you've been having these issues for, you mentioned about 10 years, right? What makes you, I mean, confident? I mean, given the fact that you've tried so much as well, that, you know, you're going to get 50% better in about, you know, even say a couple of months' time, given, you know, what you've tried. Oh, yeah, but complete bullshit, complete bullshit. I wouldn't even move past that until I've stuck it on him like, hey mate, you're a retard. Genuinely, what's he on? What's he smoking?
Literally.
I know this is B2C, but like the fact you moved past that as well into.
Well, if you keep playing it, I did ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of 6 months, I'm not doing that.
But I wouldn't even got down to financials. The moment he said some stupid shit like this, I would go right there and go into that.
Yeah.
I will not move into anything past that until we address that. Because
I think I would like to spend time to see, you know, can I get 50% or 60%
okay,
of the way there in, let's say, 3 months' time on it, or 6 months' time on it, for close to free in comparison to cost.
okay, interesting you say that. You know, you mentioned to me earlier you've been, you know, suffering with X, Y, and Z for about 10 years, right? Right? Yeah. Okay. No, I'm just curious, what makes you, you know, feel so confident that, you know, in 3 or 6 months' time, you'll be able to go, you know, 50% there, you know, make 50% progress? You know, given you haven't made any progress really in the last 10 years. What's this so-called plan this guy's coming up with? I'm going to call that right there. So you just said, yeah, it's more value, right?
So,
No, it's not quite. Yeah, it's value, sure, but it's this guy, I don't know where this optimism is coming from.
I don't know.
That's what you should have called out here.
He's just bullshitting himself.
Exactly, but you should have addressed that.
Yeah. Well, this is why I'm doing my course, to get better.
No, of course. First things first, we are going to do some chest. We'll hit some chest, boom, get into some shoulders, do some forearms. Quick little easy thing. Then we're gonna hop into some, probably some like rear delt work. I think rear delts are often very neglected. People just don't train muscles they don't see, so that's something I actively focus on. And then we'll finish up with some abs. So yeah, let's go. One thing I've kind of realized whilst being here is how you look is much more important than how much you weigh. You know, me a couple of years ago, I was fat as fuck, you know? And the reason I was fat as fuck is I was chasing a number. I was like, you know, I want to be 200 pounds, you know? So yeah, I want to be 200 pounds. You know, go for 90 kilos. I just got fat as shit. Like, I was literally walking around like the whole time, you know? And I didn't even realize it. But now looking back on pictures, like, how did I ever let myself go that far? Sometimes, you know, you have to zoom out a bit to make those leaps forward, you know? Because oftentimes you can get so, and this is applicable to business as well, you can get so, you know, bogged down in the weeds of things and the day-to-day of things that you fail to look at things from the bigger picture. And when you stop looking at things from the bigger picture, that's when you know, shoot yourself in the foot. Because you're so, you know, you're so in the weeds of things on a day-to-day, you know, you're in the team calls, team meetings, everything. You don't ever take the weekend to look at things more holistically. What's actually going to move the needle forward, you know? That's something obviously I've learned with my fitness, my health, well-being. Now I'm a lot leaner now because I'm not focused on weight. I'm just focused on how I look aesthetically. And even in business, for example, you know, the reason why we're actually seeing traction with clients, I've let certain clients go, gotten better clients on, it's because of that exact principle, you know, looking at things more holistically, making the best move on the board, because I can look at the whole board, not just one piece of the puzzle. So yeah, now we're gonna hit some upper chest, and then we'll go into some delts. We'll do some delts. So, boom, got chest done. Now we're gonna crack on with some shoulders. And then, yeah, let's get it. Looking not too shabby, if I do say so myself. Alright guys, you gonna work out?
What's that? No, I just want to check.
And that is the end of today's workout. Got a pump, looking good. Gonna go outside, head back in, and I've got back-to-backs after that, so yeah.
Landing pages are in place. Realistically, the only things that we would optimize is potentially like the booking rate on the cold traffic VSL. We'd identify this, we'd analyze the show rates on the pre-sales call confirmation page. We analyze the metrics in terms of VSL and stuff like that, play rate, engagement rate. But 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be the biggest needle mover once that's in place.
Of course, it'll be like little, 5% tweaks, a couple percentage points.
Yeah.
It's going to be bigger moves in the sense of, I already know that it's going to be fleshing out what the SDR operation looks like, and then what the closing operation looks like, and then probably just booking more calls, or getting more calls on the calendars. That's essentially what the biggest bottleneck we have at the moment is. That's always going to be a bottleneck, to be honest. On the sales front, just more calls. We're just going to go over that again to make sure that the information gets sent directly to the coaches rather than say they having to go through Slack. Right? We want them to have a smooth onboarding process, so that's what we're going to do on that front. And also on the refund side of things, I think we're still waiting on that refund form to get obviously sorted, which would be good to do. But yeah, that's the main things. In terms of tracking, aside from that, Callum's working on a new OS, probably filled you on that already. So
yeah, I think it's live actually.
Yeah, it's live, but it has a few things that obviously need to be updated from a tracking front, because there's so many dashboards on the sales side of things. There's just a few incongruencies which need to be fixed. So
what are we at in terms of?
We're at as of right now.
Yeah.
As of right now, let's get it up.
Subjects as quality on whereabouts we are at. If things keep going the way that we're going, we will definitely break.
We're at 56.5k.
Record month. Hey.
56.5k.
Spot on. So 57,606 plus what? 56.
Yep. 56.5.
Yeah, so we're at 114,106 dollars.
Combined, yes.
Yeah, combined.
Something like.
Yeah, USD.
USD, of course, Jake. Of course.
I just
USD.
have to shit sometimes.
We don't flex. We don't flex AUD
quite
though. We don't flex AUD, but AUD ain't flex.
By
Because
the way, boys, the fucking workshop was so good.
yeah, I saw. It did look good. It looked very good.
Bro, insane.
All girls though.
Amazing. Hey?
All girls, huh?
All shit say. How the fuck is that? Stella was with it. She's like, what the fuck? And they all wanted photos, like every one of them. They were like, fucking.
Yeah.
laughing at. It was insane.
Laughing it. They're all laughing Jake, bro. That's hilarious.
But it was so funny. But nah, it was super good. Everyone thought it was like really well done. They really enjoyed it. They learned something, and it was also a really good practical session. They all asked for photos after. We did like a little questions. Like people were I was just like, hey, I'm here for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Come and chat. If you have any questions, let's have a chat. Whatever. So we got all that on camera as well. So
Just had my boy Kisan pull up.
What's up, guys?
Yeah. But yeah, we are going to.
Anyone here?
No, I don't think there is. We have the whole pool to ourselves.
Oh shit. Yo, the water's hella warm. It's hot. It's like a hot tub. Oh. Bro, I got fucking scammed in the M&M factory, bro. You got ripped off. I was so pissed, bro. I was like, what the fuck? Bro, I could have bought like 4 M&M bags.
Everything is a scam before.
Yeah.
Everything is a scam before. That's what I realized. Like,
Not that much money.
What did they do? Just came back from a swim. As you can see, very much needed. It's absolutely boiling here in Florida. But yeah, it's been a good day, productive day. Hopped on with a few guys who actually were looking to get consulting with me, from me anyway. You know, we've scaled a few offers from 0 to 200k a month. Probably gonna do 300k a month this month as well with one of our clients. And so they were just looking for some advice and to see where I can plug some gaps with their system and obviously their offers, which is exciting stuff. So I'm looking forward to doing that this week. But yeah, today's been a busy day for sure. I think I've got one more call, and then I'm gonna grab some food. I'm gonna grab some not in New York, some American food, some American smash burger with some fries, which is probably, the least locked in terms of food I've been in since I've been here the whole time, as you can see. But yeah, since I'm heading back to New York tomorrow, might as well end it off with a bang. So yeah, gonna grab some food to the boy Kiss up.
What's up, guys?
So we're gonna grab some food and then call it a night. So yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Peace.